So that's Kimberly Jepson and Brandon Jepson that I was referring to, typing to her. She was asking me if I had any type of support. No, I didn't. I had a lot of people who were saying things, but it was all do they wanted. What I needed was a friend to help me turn in what was going on, to understand how truly messed up the situation is. By the time Kelli Wilmoth got a hold of me, a lot of people had told me that their lives were being threatened. By the time Kelli Wilmoth got a hold of me, I had already been assaulted by Waylon Lolatai. Kelli Wilmoth, you should look up Waylon Lolatai. Waylon Lolotai. Look his name up. He's in the news for a reason. Look up Clearview Behavioral Health, Johnstown, Colorado. Look at all the shit they were in the news for. There's body cameras that could have been requisitioned. All of my friends thought somebody else would do it. Every one of them wanted to give me phone number after phone number after phone number, and I called phone number after phone number after phone number. And I had to do it alone. I was told it's nobody's job, it's nobody's job. I needed help recording the fact that no matter what, it was literally nobody's job. I'd call one department, they'd tell me it's another department's job. That other department would tell me it's another department's job. Or they'd tell me I got to do it over the internet, and I'd try doing it over the internet over my phone, but there's a screen lock. Thanks, Boulder Police Department. Kelli Wilmoth got a hold of me when I was with Christopher Tapp when he was drinking Jameson the night he assaulted me. This was right after Natalie was killed. I'm sorry, I'm getting itchy. I'm allergic to Tide, and I wash this shit in Tide, so my arms are breaking out, my back is breaking out. I probably got bugs too. I mean, I don't live in the best conditions. Kelli, look at this. You see? I'm lucky that I was able to get so much out. I have a lady who's trying to help me up here. Now, people could have kept their names safe. They absolutely could have. By going in with me and recording it. When we tried to turn it in, go in with me so that I can fill out the paperwork instead of being incapable of functioning because I am in a constant state of fear. Understand the reasons that I am afraid of them. 60% of those killed by police last year were homeless, out of a population size of less than 600,000. %96 of those killed by police last year were men. Out of a population of what, 175 million. Men are about half our population. When men need help, we're given different treatment than a woman is. When a woman, if she's even just pretending like she's being victimized, people will drop everything that they're doing to destroy a man's life because she played victim. A lot of people will do this, and the better looking she is, the more popular she's likely to be, and the easier it's going to be for her to manipulate people into hurting you. As you guys can see, Kelli Wilmoth is pretty. Kimberly Jepson is very pretty too. Brandon Edward Jepson, he's a very handsome man. I'm an artist. I'm not stupid. I'm not attracted to looks, though. I'm attracted to brains. I like intelligence. I like people that actually think. I like people who actually look before making a decision. See, even Kelli Wilmoth can admit that the cops lied on their paperwork. Do you know how? They claimed I didn't try to get help and that nobody was willing to help me. Or sorry, nobody tried to help me, probably because of the way that I act. The fact is, the way that I act, these are reactions to trauma. These are reactions to long-term abuse. These are PTSD reactions. You got no idea what it's like to be beaten up by the cops because they got one of your friends killed. You have no idea how difficult it is to go through over a year of people threatening to kill you and your family and assaulting you and having to jump through a bunch of appointments to try to get help so that you can turn in the people that are doing this. Because all they have to do is say you're mentally ill and it's their word versus yours. Before Natalie got her brains blown out, I'd paid a lot of people to teach me how to use this electronic shit. That they told me, hey, if you buy this, then you can do this, and you can do that, and you can make money with it, and you can do all this other fancy shit. Well, I don't know how to do any of that shit, and you do. Will you sit with me and teach me, please? I'll pay you money to teach me how to do that shit. And I did pay them. Did they ever teach me how to do that shit? No, they told me what to do. That's not teaching me. Show me. Sit down with me and help me. I don't believe Kelli Wilmoth has or had any sort of malicious intent. But I also do have to worry about the fact that she might get angry that I posted up publicly. Well, here's the thing. If she's angry with me for that, for posting the truth up publicly, imagine how I feel that I am still harmed to this day. This is much, much, much worse, Kelli. You know, your family, some of them have been very good to me. Some of them have gone back and forth between being good to me and being entirely predatory. I still love every one of them. Kim, I could still be friends with. Her choice, whether we're friends or not mine. I understand she has a family. See, that's one of the things nobody tried coming forward about. Yes, I reached out to a lot of people to try to get help. When the police claimed that I never tried to get help, there are literally thousands and thousands of pieces of evidence that show otherwise. That show it wasn't that I wasn't trying to get help. I followed instructions. I'm a disabled and at-risk adult. I go to a friend or family member, and then we go to the police to turn it in. Me being forced to go in by myself. This easy to take advantage of. To have no representation, no assistance through any of this. When it comes to turning it in together. Here's the thing, is that any efforts that any of you and I made towards anything all went to waste, wasted our time, our resources. If you didn't come forward about it and try to get it into court, I'm not allowed to do that by myself, stupid. I'm saying this to anybody who wants to make the assumption that I'm allowed to do it myself. The term mentally ill is too broad a term, and it is used to discredit the victim. This is Natalie Bollinger's fucking tactic. This is her friend's tactic. And these are the cops who fucked up's tactic. Oh, he's mentally ill. He's mentally ill. He's mentally ill. Many people's excuses for looking the other way was things that other people had told them. Of course, I saved the evidence. That's what I do. Kelli Wilmoth was not a part of this until after Natalie was dead. Look at who I was afraid of. Look at what my decisions were based off of. I let Kelli Wilmoth know that I wasn't going to accept her friend's request, because by the time she sent me that friend's request, a lot of people had told me that people were threatening to kill them and their families. I have multiple people recorded telling me that the reason they never came forward is because people were threatening to kill them and their families. I have evidence of the aftermath of things that people like Candace Bondurant and Cara Rogers did. Crimes that they committed. They took advantage of the mentally ill tag just as much as the rest of my predators. All of them wanted to manipulate me into doing just what they wanted, when they wanted it, right when they fucking wanted it. Wanted to try to manipulate me into believing I was a bad person because they have kids. Because they offered to help and then broke the fucking law. Like Candace Bondurant. What about Brandon Edward Jepson intentionally trying to push me to suicide? Or Terry Wilmoth Jepson intentionally trying to push me to suicide? She was a school nurse, by the way. All of these people have mandated reporter training. All of them. You see these messages between Kelli and I from before they found Natalie's killer. Well, I was stuck with a drunk sitting next to me who was getting fucking volatile and needy because he was fucked up. And Shannon Alvarado, same thing. She'd get drunk and fucking needy of attention. If you were finally going to work on helping on it, but then you get drunk, and if we try working on my stuff, you get angry. You have to make it about how horrible your boyfriend is. Thank you for the help. These are strangers, Kelli. Some of them are strangers and some of them are people that I know. Many of them, they're mutually friends with some of my predators. I didn't have a good family. But when I love, I absolutely love. All of these people, all of the things that they told me showed that they manipulated, that they didn't care. That they would tell me that they cared, but show me that no matter what, they're never going to come forward about what they know. They're never going to look at evidence and help to turn it in. They're never going to do what they're trained to do as mandated reporters. Brandon Edward Jepson is trained as a mandated reporter. He also has a degree in criminal justice. So many of these tricks, yeah, he even knows the names of them. He went to college to learn how to violate your rights as a human being and how to shoot you. Police are more likely to get away with that if you have to talk to them alone. When police are allowed to escalate a situation with an at-risk adult in order to prevent him from showing evidence, that's not okay. For them to intentionally mislead the situation and not allow the victim to speak or show evidence, when they are allowed to press false charges against an innocent man after assaulting that innocent man in order to prevent that man from having access to the body cameras or access to show to the public or to the police all of the crimes committed. These officers destroyed a lot of evidence of crimes against them and evidence of witnesses who spoke up but only had one place to do it, and that was Facebook. Because none of their friends cared, none of their family cared, but at least it was documented that they fucking tried, because everything else that they fucking tried did not work. I went to my friends and family for help stopping the stalking. The stalking that I had to endure, and guess what? It never stopped. But just because you won't take a look, you won't take a look at how many of these fucking goddamn nut jobs I have to deal with, or how law enforcement treats you after somebody like Waylon Lolatai assaults you to try to frame you for a crime you didn't commit. And you're denied the right to know his name, so you're not allowed to turn him in. You got to make call after call after call while they play stupid. Oh, looks like I disconnected for a bit. My phone's getting hot. You see, even though Kimberly Jeffson threw me away like I was garbage for trying to get help, and Brandon Jeffson threw me away like I was garbage for trying to get help, I still love them. Jamie knows I still love her. My older brother Eric knows I still love him. When I love you, that's how it is. But when you do wrong, you did wrong. That's not my fault. When my predators get away with their crimes by making false accusations, that's not my fault either. Kelli Wilmoth had her own problems, and that's why she said she couldn't help. What did she try to do? She tried to pawn me off on a lot of other people and tried to just push the mental health. I needed help turning in crimes that were being committed against me. She made zero efforts towards that. See, that's the thing about people calling you mentally ill. All of a sudden, nobody cares that you were abused. They just want you to take drugs. Kelli Wilmoth, you can try being a good person. You know the difference between a good person and a nice person is, right? A used car salesman is a nice person. A real friend who listens and helps how you need is a good person. Your assumptions without listening, without finding out what was going on, without looking at the evidence, those are represented in what you type and what you say and what you recommend. But even you have had that training on how not to alienate a victim. So you know that doing that was wrong. You know it was very unprofessional. You did mean well. At least I hope you did. You see that I let people know about the folks who are threatening to kill people, threatening to kill people's families. There's also people like Sarah Bacon, Aaron Cockerham, and Carl Rogers recorded on my channel, talking about how they were threatened, how their lives were threatened, how their kids were threatened, how their husbands were threatened. How abusively they were treated. And they want me to feel bad and feel sorry for them, and I do. But at the same time, all of these people, there is no way that all of these people who claim that their friends and family were being threatened by these web nut jobs, there's no way that all of these people, if they worked together to turn it in, would not have been able to do so. If these people who told me that these nut jobs were threatening to kill their families had helped to turn that shit in, something would have been done. Kelli Wilmoth can do the right thing. Will she? I hope so. And maybe she'll be able to convince her family to do the same. You know how we end these videos. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind. Here's a big fucking secret too. You were your sister's keeper as well. My little sister has recorded on this channel on multiple occasions speaking about the situations that we were in. Her testimony in those recordings shows that I told the truth. The testimony from Kayla Trujillo, recorded in her own voice, shows that I told the truth. The screenshots between Natalie Bollinger and myself show that I told the truth. The conversations between myself and Terry Jeffson showed that I told the truth. The conversations between myself and Katie Cahill showed that I told the truth. The screenshots between myself and Layla Johnson, aka Layla Dunan, aka Missy Johnson, show that I told the truth. The conversations with Dan Favorite show that I told the truth. They're all on here. There's also the way that they played afterwards, when they never came forward and I was treated like I was making it all up. Did I make it up when you called me after Natalie died? Did I make it up that you sent me a friend request and I refused to accept it because I was afraid for your safety? Are you going to do what others did and claim that I'm slandering your name? We'll have to break it down then. Other than opinions, what I am stating as an outright fact is that you did call me after Natalie died, before they found Joseph Michael Lopez. I am stating that I did let you know that I was somewhere with other people, that there was phone calls that did take place. That is a fact. It is a fact that you were related to Brandon Jeffson. You were related to Jason Jeffson. You were related to Kimberly Jeffson, and that is how I know you. It is a fact that you are related to Terry Wilmoth Jeffson. It is a fact that you are related to Ron Jeffson. It is a fact that you are related to Roy Wilmoth. It is a fact that you are related to Nova Wilmoth, and it is a fact that I know these people, and that many of these people have taken part in the situation before and after Natalie's death. These are all things that can be verified by Kelli Wilmoth Jeffson. She can verify that she had her own things going on. She can verify that she was offering help, that she wasn't able to follow through, and she has her own reasons for that. The evidence shows that I still still was looking out for other people's safety every step of the way. I was letting them know about the risks. After they found Natalie Bollinger's killer, it would have been nice if some of these people would have tried to come forward with me, would have helped to make these calls with me instead of making me do it alone. If somebody could have taught me how to do these things on the internet, if somebody could have sat with me at the very beginning and made these efforts, instead of blowing me off repeatedly and telling me to call someone else. This is a 3-part system, just so you know, when it's a disabled person. All right, I go to a friend or family member and let them know what's going on. Then they either call Adult Protective Services with me, or they call the local police with me, and we turn it in. We turn it in together. When I try to explain that I'm not capable of doing the things they're asking without help, you need to help to explain that to them. I will not be heard. I am a male. If they throw me out the door and pretend I'm making up having PTSD as an excuse to shove me out the door, if you are there with me, or if you are making the call with me, and you are helping me to turn that in, then they have to do something. They have to investigate. But you have to help turn it in as well. When they talk over the victim and say that it's not their job, when they won't look at evidence or give you a way to have justice done, or when you are sent to literally the officers who assaulted you, these are all situations that are very scary situations that no victim should be forced into. Being forced to turn in Scott DaCosta to Scott DaCosta resulted in Scott DaCosta assaulting me for trying to turn in Scott DaCosta, who is the sheriff of Chapel, Nebraska. Where did I meet Kelli Wilmoth Jepson? It's not Jepson, is it? It's just Kelli Wilmoth. I met her in Chapel, Nebraska when she was visiting her cousins. I'm not the same person that I was. I used to be good to everyone. The problem is, when you're nice and you go to people for help, they're used to you being the one helping them. When you need help, they don't understand why you need help. You can do it all by yourself. No, I can't. Especially not with the injuries that I've taken. I've done and said a lot of mean shit back. This 3-part system is supposed to be, I go to my friends and family, they help me turn this shit in. We work together with social services and the police to try to put a stop to this as adults. Instead of letting it go on to the point that I am literally screaming at the top of my lungs for help and begging people to kill me. That is inappropriate. It is inappropriate to allow people to harm me until I am literally begging for suicide. And these people were able to harm me repeatedly by saying that I wasn't trying to get help, by inferring that I must be schizophrenic. And look how many of my predators, after they get busted being lying pieces of shit, what is your go-to? He's mentally ill. And for a lot of these people, I have their diagnoses. How fucked is that?